Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. We will get started in just a moment. We'd just like to go over some upcoming events and some announcements. So this Friday, March 26th, we'll have what running BRMS maintenance does. Wednesday, March 31st, we'll have basics of BRMS. That Friday, we don't have anything scheduled. We're taking a break that Friday for Good Friday. And then we'll be back Wednesday, April 7th for basics of tape libraries. Friday, April 9th, we have running your backup on your HA environment. Wednesday, April 14th, we have basics of CL programming. Friday, April 16th, we have basics of enterprise extenders. And all of those are up on the website. You can go ahead and register for any of those right now. If you want to go to the next slide, Chris.
All right.
And if you're new to iBasics, we've been doing these for quite a while. We have a lot of these sessions on demand, and we have a lot more planned coming through June. So there's a lot more to look forward to, and all of the sessions that we've done previously are on demand. So you can check those out at info.itechsol.com/basics, iBasics. Next slide. And if you have not registered yet, there's still time to register for our 2-day virtual conference, iAdmin. This is 2 days full of IBMI education. We'll have happy hours, contests, and a lot of great things, and it's free. So if you have not signed up, definitely save your seat at info.itechsol.com/iadmin. And the next one. And I'd like to introduce Chris Flick. He'll be talking to you about basics of Save and Restore. Take it away, Chris.
All righty. Well, hello, everyone. And I'm live and in person from a hotel room somewhere. So hopefully everything will go without a hitch. And I don't do a whole lot of these, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'm presenting today's iBasic on the basics of Save Restore on the IBMI. I've been working in just about every capacity related to the IBMI since its inception as an AS400, and then I worked with the System 38 before that. But again, nothing is more important or essential to your system as Save and Restore. And in my opinion, your system is only as good as your backups and your ability to restore from them. This presentation I have broken up into just 3 topics: the backup and restore strategy, and again this applies to any organization and or system, and then the backup and restore methods that these of course only apply to IBMI, and those would be the go save, go restore, save restore commands, and then bit about the use of backup and restore management software like BRMS, Robot Save. And then the third topic is just going over some of the base backup and restore media and devices. And again, these apply to IBMI only, and those would be, save files, optical, virtual, tape, and physical, virtual tape. And again, tape, tape can be, physical tape media, tape appliance, or it could be a VTL virtual tape library in that. So, but again, backup and restore, the basics of Save and Restore. It's basically a part of your ABCs of a system, and that you need it. Besides the system itself, you need to be able to backup and restore. And the backup restore strategy of your system is only as good as your ability to restore them. The method, media, and devices that you use to back up and restore your system depends on your backup strategy. So if you don't have a backup strategy, you need to plan and have a backup and recovery strategy. And with backup and restore methods, there's simple, medium, and complex varieties. Now I say the simpler, the better, and easier to maintain and restore from. Again, I already kind of went over the backup and restore media and devices, and we'll discuss those a little bit further and kind of take a look at some of these. Again, with your backup and restore strategy, again, simple, keep it simple. The less complex to save, the less complex to restore and maintain. And again, your backup and restore strategy should include on-site backups. Your system, when your system crashes or fails, it's helpful to have data backups on hand for easy restoration. Yeah, it's a cliche, but time is indeed money. And on-site backups are often faster to restore than cloud backups, and almost always faster than having off-site media. So it's good to have something handy for quick restore. Off-site backups, you need those, which they're valuable, but they cannot be counted on alone. So you need some other strategies. Should something disastrous happen to on-site location, it could also damage any backups you have in that location. So for that reason, it's always wise to have copies of your backups off-site, where they can be accessed manually, remotely, or through the cloud. Backup schedule. Backup are not a one and done process. Key data in your system must be regularly and consistently backed up according to a clear and organized schedule. Backup testing. Backups need to be tested. That's key here, and they need to be tested regularly. In addition, your IT staff must be trained on how to access and restore from data backups as quickly as possible. A backup that fails, or an IT member or staff that's unable to restore the backup effectively and efficiently undermines your organization's investment in a backup solution, and in the first place. So you need to keep that in mind. The backup storage and organization, the storage repository for backups and labeling system must be clear and organized. The ability to locate and find a specific backup from a specific point in time quickly and easily for any restore purposes. So again, that's it's a key here in your storage and being organized. So multiple copies of your data for protection and access. You want backed up data on different storage types, devices, and media is what I'm talking about there. Servers, whether virtual, physical, and different locations, and so on. And then you again want a copy of the data off-site, different location, off-prem, removable media, in the cloud, or another data center. Again, this is going into backup and restore methods. So if we look at those, there's the key ones I want to point out are the go save and go restores to perform saves and restores from menu options that are provided by the IBMI. And at this point, I was going to go to a live system and just go to the go restore menu. So if a lot of you are probably familiar with this if you've been on the platform for a while. But again, this has all the nice features in here for doing a restore. Actually, I want to look at go save first. Actually, is what I wanted to look at first. So let me get back out of here. Let me go to go save. Anyway, with the go save, again, you have all your options for saving any type of data. So you go in and use those type of options. The key here that I like to point out is for your overall save system and user data, and this is options 20 through 23, and those are helpful as far as interactive and being able to save either your entire system, system data only, or all user data. And typically, well, these are all going to be in a restricted state mode. And for those options here, if you did option 21, you can define any of these options and change them to how you want to run your backups in an interactive fashion in a restricted state on. And these would be again from your console as well, since it is going to be in a restricted state. But if I were to make these changes, and then if I were to perform a save, these changes would come up here on any of these options for either the entire system data or all user data. So again, I'm not, as you can see here, I'm not in a restricted state, and I'm not on a console, so it won't let me proceed there. But that's that's some of the features. But again, there's a multitude as far as the commands and getting to know those commands and know what those menu options are and those functions if you don't already know. But those are key to keeping it simple. The more you can do an entire system save, and you need to do those on a regular basis to make sure you've got full recovery capability, and then you can do your selective saves or all user saves and that. And we'll get into just some of the individual commands later. So I'll get back to the presentation here. And the next slide, of course, is the go restore function, which I was showing earlier. And I'll go back to the green screen here. And again, on the go restore, you can restore the files, libraries, documents, and so on. And then again, you can restore your entire system, which would be option 21, and option 22 is just saving sys data only. Option 23 would be all user data. But if you're doing selective restores and that with files or libraries, you would take those individual options, and here it just brings up the restore library command if I was to take that option as well. So I will get back to the presentation here. Alrighty. With backup restore methods, there we can look at the individual commands here for performance saves and restores. Again, I'll just flip on back to the green screen. And one of the features here, if you do a go cmd sav, it's going to give me all the save commands. So here I can save an object, in the IFS. I can save documents, save libraries. And again, here, if I did an option 11, it's going to give me that save library command. Now, if I go to go cmd rst, it's going to give me all the restore functions and that. So again, these are all just nice and menu driven, and that you can see all the different type of restore commands and that, and it's easy to find and locate if you're not familiar with those commands as well. So it's a handy menu driven tools to get to these all these save and restore commands and that, which is very helpful and very useful tool, because once you get these commands, obviously if you may have to incorporate, if you've got CL, you'd have to write CL programs and that to incorporate these various commands, whether when you're doing saves. Restores are probably just going to be either command driven, as opposed to being in a any type of program in that, because those are going to be probably more random than something done on a regular basis like a save. All right, and I showed went through the restore portions of the save restore commands, And again, it's it's handy to have and handy to go to. The other part is using the use of backup and restore management software. And as you can see here, it's backup and restore like a BRMS or a robot save is it's easier to work with tape media libraries and that versus individual tapes, and that it's easier to maintain the different types of media, your backup copies and that. So but it contains like canned versions of saves that you can copy and clone and personalize. Again, it allows you to be able to avoid writing CL programs to manage, maintain, and monitor your backups, and then also assist in the restore process, being able to go in and look those up. We've done some presentations just on BRMS alone in that, and robot save works somewhat similar to it, but BRMS is obviously the probably the easiest one to set up and work with, but it can get complicated on getting it set up. But once you do, it's a lot easier to maintain and use and utilize. So again, it helps you a little bit an early way to retrieve lost or damaged data. It's your daily, weekly,
Hey, Chris,
backup jobs, complete normal. Yeah.
Chris, can you hear me? Try turning your webcam off. It sounds like there's a lag.
Okay.
See if that helps.
All right. That help, or can you hear me?
You are good for right now.
Much better.
Okay. All right. Where did I cut off at, or did I? Do you know?
I'm not sure exactly.
Like
I think
the last 30 minutes were a little garbled. Last 30 seconds. So 30 seconds. Sorry.
Okay. So I was getting into the use of backup restore management software. So I don't know if that was all contained, but I was talking about those software management software like a BRMS or robot saves easier to work with tape media libraries, and as as I'm showing here on the slide, canned versions of the save. It contains canned versions, saves that you can copy, clone, and personalize, and it avoids having to write CL programs that take those save and restore commands that are available that I was showing on the menu options. To maintain, manage, maintain, and monitor your backups. It also assists in restore process. Whether it's one object or you're restoring the entire system, it helps out again. And unless it is restoring the entire system, which the save and restore 21s are an easy way to do that as well. It also helps you implement a disciplined approach to managing your backups and provides you with an orderly way to retrieve lost or damaged data. And it helps to ensure that your daily and weekly and monthly backup jobs complete normally. But there's also ways outside of BRMS, as I'm showing here. You can do, display log BRM, and as I mentioned, I don't know where I cut off, but we do presentations just on BRMS and that, and so we go a lot deeper into that. But there's some messages that you can monitor and look for that as well. And then if you're not using BRMS, though, you can use the display log to check the system history log, and those are the CPF codes down there that you can display and check for. Alrighty. And then as far as the backup and restore, talking about media and devices, You've got save files, which are, again, which are handy for saving objects, and you can save complete libraries, IFS directories, files, and then use them to restore them back on the same or different systems. So you can move those around and use them to restore on another system if need be. You have the optical and virtual optical, and there's the IBMI Save and Restore command support directly attached optical media libraries, and which are CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, DVD-RAM, standalone devices, and virtual optical devices. And the best use of optical storage devices is for disaster recovery protection. And then you have tape and virtual tape. Again, when I talk about tape, it can be physical tape or in a tape library or a virtual tape library, which is different than virtual tape. But so physical tape provides the best protection opportunity for a disaster recovery situation and security, which is the air gap protection. Virtual tape supports all save restore commands and APIs except the save storage command. And both can be configured and set up to provide offsite storage. And again, with save files and virtual tape, those eliminate tape media incompatibilities with save files and virtual tape, and it also ensures that the system has enough disk space to hold all the virtual images you're going to create for your save operation. Outside of that, that's pretty much what I have for the presentation. There's kind of relying more on what everybody has as far as maybe questions and that at this point, because there's a lot of things, commands and so on that you can go into. You probably do a whole presentation on just one command, but this is just kind of giving the basics and what's out there and what's available. So we'll at this point take any questions. Let's see. All right, I have one here. Let me see here. What is the difference between doing a save sys command as compared to a go save 22? Which one do you recommend? It's basically the same thing. It's if you're doing a save sys command, you can put it in a CL program and then schedule to run out of queue control subsystem, because again, it's going to need the system to be in a restricted state for that. The option 22 on your save, on your go save, is if you're doing it interactively there off the console. What about saving to a flash drive is the next question. I don't really cover that in this presentation. I don't really, as far as flash drives, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. If it's a USB device or not. And oh yes, USB. I have not been saving anything to a USB device. I don't know, Pete, if you've got any input on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can save to a USB device now, depending on which generation of your power hardware. You're going to get different results. Obviously, with a Power 9, you got a much higher USB port on this, you'll get a better performance, but the performance isn't really that great. It's certainly not going to be as good as tape. And remember, I believe there is a upper size limit on what you can save to a USB device. And I thought it was 64 gigabytes, but you know, I don't know. I've done save sys's to a USB and not been a problem. I've never done a full system save because I just, you know, wouldn't use that kind of technology for an enterprise class machine to do a save on. So.
Okay, he asked, did IBM increase the size?
I think it's still 64 gig.
Okay. Alrighty. Right now there's no other questions. Oh, I see. I didn't even. Okay. I didn't even. It's that big. Okay. He didn't. Ed said he didn't think it was even that big. So. Told doing a save sys. All right. I'm getting another question here. I was told that doing a save sys command does not save the IBM library or topic. Library, I guess it is. I'm going to see here. Going to cut off.
There's libraries, yeah. That's the command.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, unless you. I mean, if you do, well.
So he's. I think the question was. He's saying a save sys command. He's asking if a save sys command saves the IBM libraries, which it does not.
No, that does not. But I guess I was looking to the save sys and the save 22. Well, you know, yeah, because the save 22 will save the IBM libraries as well. So that was. I'm glad actually you brought that up because that is really the difference there. Besides doing it interactively or being able to do it from you know, from a CL program or something to run out of Q control. But yeah. Okay, someone positive's been covered. I had to take a phone. It's been. But is it standard to back up the production system, or should we back up our DR replicated system? Well, that's kind of an open question. I guess it depends on how well or, you know, fully you are replicating everything. I think there's you know, you can back up your user, you know, all your user data from your DR system, but I would still want to get a, you know, a save sys or save 22, you know, like a, you know, before or after you do PTFs and OS upgrades in that, because it is still unique to that system, although they might be pretty identical. I would still want to get a save sys or save 22 off of your production system when you do things as far as doing PTFs or OS upgrades and that. Hopefully that answered that.
Yeah, it looks like that's all of the questions we have for now. You want to go to the next slide for me, Chris?
All righty. Get you that. Okay.
Okay, there we go. So we do have quite a bit of virtual events. We have an iBasics every Wednesday, a Sips and Tricks every Friday. If you check out itechsoul.com/events, everything will be listed there so you can register for future events. And also all of the events that have already happened are on demand for you to watch as well. If you'd like to go to the next slide. And if you have not registered for iAdmin, there's still time to register. This is April 20th to April 21st. It's 2 full days of IBMI virtual education, and it's free. We'll have happy hours and games and a lot of great things going on for those 2 days. So definitely don't miss out on that. You can register at info.itechsoul.com/iadmin and save your seat. And the next slide, please. And there's quite a bit that Chris covered today. If you're wondering how what he said might apply to your system, we can schedule 15 minutes with you, with Chris, and answer any questions that you might have that apply to you specifically. And just go ahead and email me, Vanessa, vglunny@itechsoul.com, and we will get you scheduled. But thank you for joining. Thanks, Chris. And we will play a video on the way out. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you, Ray.
As companies focus more on their data and how to use it to help the business grow, they are looking to outsource more tasks associated with managing their infrastructure. We know that finding skilled IBMI resources can be difficult. iTech Solutions team of certified system administrators can help fill the gaps in your IT team. Our managed service offering enables our clients access to our world-class certified technical experts that provide continuous system monitoring, technical support, ongoing maintenance, and future planning. With customizable support options, clients only utilize the services that they need to get better performing IBMI environments and the best return for the cost of the services. With iTech Solutions as your managed service provider, you can count on reduced risk and downtime through proactive monitoring, regular PTF maintenance, increased IT focus as your personnel can focus on core strategies and innovation instead of system administration. And our knowledge of system best practices can help ensure compliance and security requirements are met. It's time to give your company the competitive advantage and obtain experienced IBMI administrators that have the skills and know-how to leverage your IBMI investment. At iTech Solutions, we aim to be more than just your business partner. We consider ourselves part of your team.